I'm Lana Horton, and congratulations on your purchase of ML2000. Now let me show you how we're going to make the most of this product. You ready to get started? First of all, let's talk about the products. When you're looking at the product, you're going to see that you have two bottles. One is marked Formula One White, and one is marked Formula One Clear. Now they're both exactly the same thing. The only difference is one is going to dry clear and one is going to dry white. The first product that we're going to be working on, we are going to be working with our Formula One White, so I want you to kind of keep that over to the side. And now I want you to look at your 3 burper tips. Now the burper tips you're looking at and going, Lana, what in the world are you doing? Well, you know, the most common thing everyone asks me, how in the world can you possibly get an outfit like that with this much of any type of liquid without it spitting and burping and going all over? Well, it makes a craft person go crazy when that happens. The whole secret is what we're going to put it on with an applique. Gals, you can't work in these bottles. These things are going to burp all over the place for you. They're going to make you go crazy. I want you always to work out of your burper tips. Now, we're going to go, and you're going to see it has 3 different sizes. For our first project, I want you to take your medium-sized tip. But while we're on the subject of burper tips, let me explain exactly how these are going to work. If you look at your burper tip, you're going to see it has an angle on it. Well, the angle is because I want you to be able to work directly on your material. We don't want to work up in the air. Working up in the air is what's going to make your lines go fat and skinny, fat and skinny, fat and skinny. I want you to always work directly on your garment, put it on, push on your super soft bottle, and pull it at the same time, okay? So if we want it high, if you want 3 dimensionals like I have on my outfit here, we're going to leave the slant up. If I wanted to take the same thing and I wanted it flat, you want it to hug your fabric, then you're going to go against the angle, and we're going to show you a little bit of that later. But right now, all we're going to concentrate on is Formula One White and our number 2 burper tip. Now let's go and learn how to make the easiest thing in the world, and we're going to take a plain jeans jacket. And you know, we all have these in our closets, or if you don't have one in your closet, go to a secondhand store or go buy a brand new one. And we're going to take this plain jeans jacket and turn it into a designer's coat. Isn't that wonderful? And we're going to do this in a matter of a couple of hours. And remember, the best part of ML2000, it'll go in your washer, it'll go in your dryer, it's 100% dry cleanable, and it will never lift, crack, chip, or peel for you. So we don't have to do anything special with this. Okay, now that we have our jeans jacket, we're going to start on the back, and to save us a little bit of time, I've done a section of this. The first thing you want to do is find your center line point here. And you do that very easily just by taking your jacket, lining up your shoulders, and that's going to give us our center marker. From there, we're going to take a piece of tailor's chalk, or we're going to take, there's a number of white marking pencils that are out on the market, but I like tailor's chalk. It's the easiest to see. And we're going to go and put our yoke in here. Now, depending on the size of your jacket, that is going to depend on how you're putting this down. So I'm going to go from a corner to a corner, and if you follow your directions that come in your instruction book, it's going to go and walk you right straight through this. But we're just going to go and take our tailor chalk and just put it in. Now, if you make a mistake, don't worry about it. It's going to brush right off for you. Okay, now we've got our yoke down. From that point, we're going to start making our dots. Now, when you're making your dots, I want them all different sizes. We don't want them to be uniform, because if they're uniform, then if you make a mistake, you're going to be able to see it. So we don't want that. You're going to see I have some large ones, I have some small ones, and that's exactly what I want you to do. By using our Formula One White, it's going to dry white, and so when this whole thing is completely finished, it's going to look just like this, and you're going to get that white crystal look. So we're going to take our burper tip, and we're just going to add dots, and that's it. Now you see how it forms them all by itself. You don't have to worry about it falling down, and that's just basically the formula. The formula really isn't a paint and it isn't a glue. We're going to make it work like both, but when you start working with it, it's going to be so much easier because it holds up. It doesn't have any of that drag down feel that you normally get with glues and paints. Okay, work 1/4 at a time, gals. Fill in one section. After you have that section finished, then let's go over and get our translucent. Translucent is not iridescent. Iridescent has a color. Translucent is a color enhancer. and we're going to put this on. And don't be afraid to put a large amount on it because we're going to recycle. Anytime you're using your glitters, make sure that you work one color at a time and always recycle it. Now from that point, I would just keep working my way down till I have my whole back in. This will take you, maybe 15 minutes at slow speed, so it doesn't take long, and then you're going to just go and shake your glitter off. Now because it doesn't have that static of normal glitter, you notice how clean my garment stays, and so it makes it very easy to work with. Okay, when we're working with our fringe, the fringe is nothing more than a 2-inch fringe you're going to buy at any fabric store. And we're going to go right down this imaginary line. Take your burper tip, just follow it over, bring it all the way down. And you notice I do not get any types of burping. It's wonderful, isn't it? How many times have you guys have done this and you get halfway through and it would be spitting all over the place? Well, I promise you that's not going to be happening for you. Okay, I'm going to take my fringe and I want to just kind of straighten it out here a little bit. If you follow your directions, it's going to tell you to lay them down. Look at the area, get all of your fringe laying down flat. Bring it in and tap it down. Is this easy or what? Look at that. And the best part, if you make this at 9 o'clock in the morning, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're ready to go out dancing. Just bring your tip. Once you get it down, now I'm going to leave mine set here because I want it to set up. But after you have your V totally finished, clip this off and it's going to go and come down to a real nice point for you. Now you don't have to worry about finishing this off anywhere because even though we're working this as a glue base on this application, it's also a wonderful fray check. It's going to always stay soft for you, but you don't have to worry about any of your tassels going over, and normally you'd have to hand stitch this. It's all going to go and work as a fray check for you, so it's not going to fray out when you're putting it in your washer and your dryer. You're going to turn it over, let this side dry, and then we're going to go and finish the front side just by following your simple directions, and that's all there is to do to make our designer jacket. Okay, ladies, now let's learn how to use our dyes and our glitters. First of all, we want to go and take our number 2 craft recipe, which is the Floral Garden, out of our instruction book. Now, what it is just a plain, simple iron-on. When you're working with your iron-on, you're going to position it. Now, I've already cut mine out and positioned it to my shirt. And these iron-ons, you can cut, you can go and make them for a V-neck, or you can make it for a scoop neck. I'm using a round neck on this, so I cut my design out. Now, once I have it cut out around the edges, what we're going to do is we're going to get our iron. We want the iron set on about 350 degrees or cotton. And we're just going to set it down there. I don't want you to move it. All I want you to do is put a little pressure on it, pick it up, and move it over. Okay, as we've done this, you're going to go all over your shirt, and then you're going to peek back over here. Oh, look how good that's coming off. And your full design is ready. Now, you're looking at me going, Lana, look at these shoulder pads. This is crazy. Well, you know, the beauty of our designs when we're working here is they look like someone very professional has done this, and you're thinking, I could never do this in a million years. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to make it a little bit easier. I want you to always put your iron-on the inside of any of your pastel shirts, yellow, pink, whatever shade you're using. Then, when you turn those off, turn them inside out, you're going to be able to see that design that is going to come right straight through your shirt. Now, I'm working on a shirt board, and I'll tell you, let's get this out of our way here a little bit. The shirt board that I'm working on, I have covered over with a piece of white plastic, and it just makes that jump up a little bit more for me. But once I put this on my body, if I got off my lines a little bit, you're never going to see it. It's going to go and cover anything that you might be making a mistake on. Okay, now we're ready to make our paints. You know how when you're working with paint, you put it on, make your beautiful outfit, and all of a sudden you go and put it on, and you try to stretch it, and what happens? It either cracks or it jumps right off your fabric. Well, we're going to make our own paints, and we're going to make them for pennies. They're going to be permanent, and first of all, with your craft recipe, I want you to take your Formula 1 white. Everything is going to be now measured by a tablespoon, so this is going to be our common measurement. You're going to take your instructional dye guide. And we're going to decide which color that we want. So I have chose on mine that I want to use this beautiful seafoam green because that's going to be the background of my floral design. Now I've already measured 1 tablespoon of Formula 1 white. So we're going to get our color chart, and I'm going over to my pastel shades, and I'm going to go down. Remember, seafoam is number 17, so I'm going to go down to number 17. This is going to give us our numbers, and I'm going to look across my top where my colors are. And I see I have 1 tablespoon of white, I have 1 drop of blue, and I have 6 drops of green. So let's make our paint now. First of all, I'm going to take my 1 drop of blue, and the best part of all of this is our drops are controlled, so you cannot make a mistake. So we have our 1 drop of blue, and then I'm going to go over to my 6 drops. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to mix them up in here. I'm just using a to stir and mix this all up. I'm just using a toothpick or craft stick. But you know, the best part on all of this is you never have to worry about our dyes fading out. We put a sunblock in. And look at this. Isn't this color wonderful? It's not going to crack for you. It's not going to lift, chip, or peel. And it's coming up exactly the same color as we have on our chart. Now from there, all we're going to do is we're going to go and put it in our burper tip. Now the burper tip, remember, we want the spoon up because this is going to give us our height. And we're just going to start keeping our spoon up. We're going to follow our lines. We're going to go right over where the flowers are. Just pretend those flowers aren't even there for right now. We're going to keep following those lines all the way through, keeping that spoon up, and it's going to stay real nice and even for us. Okay, from this point, after you've done, remember, 1/4 of a section at a time, take our translucent, go back over the top of it. Now this is going to add our sparkle. And I've got a little bit more here in this one. This is going to add our sparkle, and always, always, always recycle. Okay, now let's go back to our design. Look how beautiful that turned out. And you can make that just as pretty by just simply using your craft recipe number 2. All right, now we're ready to do sequins. If you look at our beautiful design here, this is just going to take you a matter of a couple of hours to do your full outfit. First of all, I want you to get with your instruction book and pull your template page out for me. All right, if we're going to be working with our template page, if you're working with white, all we're going to do is cut your design out and leave the black line there because this is also an iron-on transfer. If you're going to be working with black, then just simply cut your template out and put them over to the side for me, okay? Now when we're working with sequins, the whole idea of the sequins is they're 6 millimeters instead of 5 because I wanted them to look like a jewel. I wanted them to look like a rhinestone. If you look at the outfits that we have here on our jeans or the tennis shoes or the caps, there's just so much you can do when we're working with sequins, but I wanted them to have a jewel tone effect as opposed to a sequin. So when we're putting them down here, we're going to just kind of separate our sequins down here. Okay, now I've already prepared for you a dress that we already have our templates on. Now when you're taking your templates, remember, if we want to go and use this on a white or pastel shades, this is already on an iron-on, and all you'd have to do is cut this out, place it down and iron it on just like we did our other products. If we want to go and put this on black, then we need to cut them out, and which is what I'm doing here. I'm going to place my template down, and then I just take my tailor chalk or whatever I'm putting there. Now, all of these lines are going to disappear, so don't worry if you've made any type of mistakes. They all go away for you. Also, your formula is going to dry perfectly clear. So obviously, we're going to be using our Formula 1 clear. I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to go and make myself a real nice little thin line here. And then I'm going to go and take a craft stick, toothpick, whatever. We're going to pick a little bit up, and now we're going to pick our sequins up. These sequins are so light, you're going to love them. They are totally washable. They'll go through your washer. They'll go through your dryer. If you look at them, you can see it looks like they have a little tiny bit of glitter on the inside, and that's what's giving them that jewel look. I need to get a little bit more of my formula. Don't worry about getting that formula on your sequins. It all dries perfectly clear. Matter of fact, sometimes it's good for it to go around the edges. A little bit on here. And we're just laying them in. You don't want to overlap them. We're just laying them in side by side. And the reason for that is we're on stretchy material here. And you do not have to stretch your material out. Well, let's get these guys going. Okay, and you're going to follow all the way down, just exactly like what we're doing here, following your pattern and just laying your sequins in. And that's all there is to it. And this is what we're going to end up with. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? Okay, and now we're just going to have a little fun here. If you're working appliques, yes, we're going to go into and take the place of all of your fusing. We're going to go and just cut your tiger face out of your piece of material, put your Formula 1 clear on the back, pat it down, and leave it dry. It is always going to stay soft, and it's never going to lift for you. Then I just embellished my edges with my gold glitter. If we're going to talk about using it as fray check, here we've taken a very inexpensive t-shirt, put my lace on. Now, you know, when you're working with your lace, if you're trying to do it with a fusing, all of that fusing comes through your holes. You're never going to have that with ML2000. You're going to get your focal points, put a little bit of formula on your edges, pat it down. If you're putting your pearls down, put your formula on your pearl first, and then put it down on your shirt. If you want to have the formula and glitter around your pearl, then put your formula on your shirt and push your pearl in. Very easy. When we're working any of our appliques, put your formula on the back, lay it, position it where you want it, put it on half of it, lay it down, tap it, put it on the other side, and do the same. That's all we've done. You want to go and dress this up a little bit more. Lots of people we like to remember at Christmas time. We just don't necessarily like to remember them $20 worth. I've been able to take a very inexpensive t-shirt, cut my arms out, and again, now I'm working this as a fray check. It's always going to stay soft. It is always, always, always going to stay like this for you ladies. If we're working with any of our doilies and our sweatshirts, your material, you can use it as a jacket. We're going to cut down the front. Use, again, your formula to put your seams over on, and if you don't have to do any type of sewing. All of our little beads, all of our stones, all of our pearls, everything has been put on with just your Formula 1 clear. And these are just little things that I had laying around the house that were fun to add on, and it just makes an absolutely beautiful jacket. And if you look behind me, you're going to be able to see I made it into an ensemble set just by buying 2 inexpensive sweatshirts. Okay, we can even do this on toweling if you want to do it on sweaters, if you want to do it on anything with a pile. Remember, you're going to get 50 more designs in your pattern book. And all I did is I took a letter out of my pattern book, put it on my towel, my lace was put on, my pearl was put on, all of this has been put on with ML2000. No sewing at all. You're going to love our silk flowers. The whole thing on silk flowers when you're working them. This is a silk flower. You want to take it apart, take your whole silk flower apart, read your directions. There's one full segment in there. On silk flowers, we're going to dilute our formula down 50-50. If you want to make your formula thicker, put it in your microwave. It'll thicken it up for you. If you want to dilute it down and make it thinner, all you have to do is add water to it. I have to go and make this 100% machine washable. All I did is I took my flowers exactly the same way, diluted them down, let them dry, and then I appliqued them to my skirt. These are fun. You're going to love working with your silk flowers. Okay, if you're not for sure when you're working with something that it is waterproof, make sure you just put a little bit of formula on the top, and it's going to waterproof anything. Last but not least, I've saved the one that I think is the most fun. If we're working foils, now I'm speaking a plain piece of craft foil. We want to put the doll side down. I put my design on. I'm not for sure if we can pick this up or not, But I put my design down, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to go over my foil, and I'm going to use a little bit of finger pressure here on each side. We're just going to come down with finger pressure. When you're doing this, you must leave your formula dry. You must leave it set up, and I want you to work it within those first 10 hours. If you read your directions, now, are you ready for this? Look at this. Is this not the most fun? I'm hoping that you can see that there real well. Here, we'll go up and do a star. Do some little segments. It's just down. You can do this on tennis shoes. You can make it look like studs. And the best part is we don't have to put anything over the top of this. This is going to stay on here just exactly like this. Anyone can do foil. And last but not least is our glazing. Whenever you have anything that has glitter, you know how it goes and leaves our nice glitter trail behind it? Well, we don't want that to happen. So what we're going to do, and these are all in your instruction books, ladies, I want you to take 1 tablespoon of Formula 1 clear and 20 tablespoons of water. We're going to just put them in any type of applicator that has a nice spraying spout, and you're going to just shake it all up. Then you're going to go back over and glaze all over the top. Now, this is going to dry perfectly clear, so don't worry about it. But it's going to put a real nice finish on everything. It's going to go over your jewels. It's not going to cloud them. You're going to love glazing. And that's it, ladies. And congratulations on your purchase of ML2000. And good luck to you.